Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, guys.
Jacob's here. He's just behind the camera.
He has a butt plug?
It's not a butt.
Brother, get out of my seat.
Then why is there brown stuff on it, Dresden?
Because it's dirt.
Poop?
This is my threat.
This is
going down your back.
Hey, Natalie, what's in dirt?
Dookie.
I mean, yeah, poop,
But that's fertilizer.
it's fertilized.
Okay,
It's
your
a
poop
butt
is
plug.
also fertilizes.
It can be.
Exactly, so you're saying...
All right, everyone. I'm gonna explain myself right here. See this thing? See this?
Over.
This is a seed starter. I just printed the inside bits. They're not in there. This is to make a hole to put the seed in. This is to pat the dirt down. And this is to put the dirt into it so you don't make a mess.
Likely story, buddy.
Says the one with the butt plug.
You know, politicians lie all the time.
They do.
Good thing Dresden's
Except I'm not a politician.
Says the one wearing blue.
Says the
Yeah!
Oh
Yeah,
no.
the rest of us are all
Says the
wearing
one that
neutral
loves that.
colors.
Jacob's wearing
He's wearing
pink.
purple.
He's wearing purple.
Pink?
Oh my god, you're
independent. That's worse.
Jacob, we're like the complete opposite clothing wise if you take pastel into consideration.
You're
What's
just
up,
wearing a
talking?
pastel.
What?
That's just not pastel.
Okay,
No, I
guys,
know, I have a pastel.
What
I
are
thought I
we
was wearing
talking
it. I'm
about
not.
today?
Jacob, they probably can't hear
Bedtime.
you.
Yeah, they can. I'm talking loud enough.
For once.
Wait, talk, Jacob?
Jacob's the man behind the camera.
Hola.
Say it again.
Hi.
Barely.
They can hear him a little bit. They can hear him as much as they can hear you, actually.
I'm also, like, barely talking.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's nothing to talk about yet.
Nothing
So-
to talk about.
Continue.
Continue, what was I talking about?
I don't remember. You were introducing.
Oh yeah, welcome to the podcast. We have behind the microphone this time, but kind of in front of the camera, Jacob, James, I'm Dreidel. This is Tolley, that's Navi, and that's Natalie.
At this rate, I'm the Stan and James Dreidel.
Yeah, James Dreidel and Snavi,
Snobby.
Navi.
featuring Navi's fella man fella,
Yep.
and that one,
Dresden.
Stan's lady fella, pan fella, as we talked about at Taco Bell.
Double hands.
Double hands, all pain.
Double hands, all pan. That's what we say.
This is my second time on here.
It is, yeah.
Ever.
The first
Only
one was
second.
interesting.
Wait, can we talk about
This is totally
can we talk about the
third.
most heated debate of 2025?
Yeah, do it.
One gorilla versus 100 people.
Okay, so I'm actually in a vet clinic, like animal science place,
Uh-huh.
and we had little elementary school kids tour, and me and this guy named Amari were touring a group of little kids, and we have a massive playpen in the corner, and the doors were open, and the kids were like, "What animal was in there?" And Amari goes, "Oh, just our gorilla. It escaped." And they were like, "No way." And he was like, "Yeah, it was a silverback. It's an automotive." And they were like, "What?"
It's in automotive.
That's fucked up.
Yes,
Yeah, I'd be a little scared.
Dude, I would feel a
I'd be
little
pissing
scared.
my little pants. I'd be telling you that.
According to Reddit, 100 vessels would beat a silverback gorilla in a fight. Found that one out.
Have you seen the 100 gorillas versus 1
100
human?
vessels is in vessel and sleep token?
Yeah. Sleep token vessel.
I
100 of
haven't
them.
seen that. I think 100 people would win.
I think the gorilla would win.
Depends on how smart they are.
Okay.
100 Jacobs? Maybe.
No.
100 Tolleys? Maybe. 100 Dresdens? Absolutely.
Not.
100 of...
Also,
I'm not going to say a name, but one of our live people at work massacred. Dead, all 100. 10 seconds.
Okay,
or
but what
less.
about like 100 young Mike Tysons?
Okay, so we're saying
100,
men,
yeah.
right?
Well,
100
did
men.
young Mike Tyson
100,
work
yeah,
out?
100 men.
Huh?
Manly
Did young
men.
Mike
No.
Tyson work out?
Oh, just like
I think
average
that's the
men.
Define
thing.
men.
Mike Tyson.
I don't
Not
know,
like-
just
You said young... Oh, like in his
6-year-old.
prime? In his prime?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
Bro.
probably, you know,
I see.
average
Like
weight,
little
average
10-year-old
He
Mike
basically was-
Tyson.
muscle to fat ratio,
So we're gonna
average
get
height.
so it's 100 people. So we're
Average
gonna get like some
intelligence.
4'11" people. We're gonna get some 6 feet people. We're gonna get some skinny legends. We're gonna get Tubbo down the street.
Skinny legends.
No, I think I've always considered like it's just like 100 duplicates of an average.
Oh,
Man.
Yeah, that's what I
but
thought.
I think of it. I think of just like
Just like
bunch of
100 random
people.
guys.
Like, you know, like the 100 like that show. You seen
Like
that one?
freaking
I've
Mr.
heard of
Beast
it.
games.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
Mr. Beast games. 100 people versus
Welcome
one
back,
gorilla.
guys. This is another Mr.
Did you
Beast
see they're actually
video
gonna
with
do it somewhere?
100 men
Oh my
versus
God. I
a
don't know where it is. They're
gorilla.
actually gonna do 100 people versus a gorilla. I
On
don't-
Mr. Beast?
No, not Mr.
That seems
Beast.
like
Okay.
inhumane.
It is very inhumane.
Do you know the Keep It 100 Snapchat story things? Has any of you seen that?
No, but I just
Okay.
remembered something random.
Yeah.
It pertains to monkeys. And
I just-
orangutans will rip you apart just out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy, dude.
Yeah, but can orangutans tear apart 100 guys?
Yeah.
Did you know gorillas are
Probably.
actually the nicest monkeys? Did you know gorillas aren't even monkeys?
They're the gorillas.
They're not even related to monkeys in any
Good
way.
job, Justin.
Did you know that? Did you know that, Adam?
What?
Gorillas aren't even like related to monkeys in any way.
Who are they more closely related to besides us?
Frogs.
They're not even closely related to us. They're like
Are they
different
not?
species, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, monkeys are related to us,
Monkeys are
right?
related to us, not gorillas.
You know, we share a lot of DNA with bananas.
Bananas are
What?
one of the few foods I can eat right now.
Did you know bananas?
Alexa.
Cannibal.
How much DNA do people share with bananas?
Research has shown that humans share almost 60% of their DNA with bananas.
60%.
Weird.
Hey, Alexa.
That's a lot
So-
more than I thought.
Okay, bad
100
question.
men versus... Oh. Hey, Alexa. 100 men versus a gorilla. Who wins?
I don't know that.
Shut up, Alexa. You're useless. Anyways,
Okay,
continue.
bad question. If we're 60% banana, it's cannibals. Think.
We're eating
But they're-
60% of ourselves
Hey,
whenever we eat a
Yeah, but they're
banana.
That's
plants.
weird.
They're not sentient.
Okay. How do
Okay,
we know
then
that?
how are we
Okay,
related to fucking
Okay,
bananas?
but if we're 60%,
I could
if we
see this
have
very
60,
quickly
if we share
devolving to an
60%
abortion conversation.
of the genes, that's funny. If we share
Okay,
60%
Dresden.
of the DNA of a banana, does that mean we taste relatively close to a banana?
Right. Like,
No.
we
No,
don't
we
have
actually
frickin'
taste.
seeds.
We actually taste very similar to pork.
Okay.
Do we share DNA with pigs?
No, but our meat is
But-
our meat is salty. A lot of
Actually-
people don't know that people are animals.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
You know
they,
that?
They don't believe
Yeah, a
that
lot of people
are...
don't know that
We're just
humans are
insanely
animals.
intellectual.
We're very intellectual mammals
We're mammals.
because we give live birth, so we're mammals.
Actually,
Nah,
pigs,
We don't lay
It does
eggs.
have nipples.
pigs
We do.
We also
No, they're
produce
mammal
milk.
thing.
And
Mammals
Yes.
have
half
to
our
produce
population
milk.
lactates.
Whales, they're mammals. They have hair. They produce milk.
Did you know?
Dolphins,
And they give live
produce milk. They
What's
have
what's
hair
the sea
as
animal that
babies.
has like
But they-
fingers in their fins?
Dolphins and whales,
Yeah, that's weird.
because they used to live on
Seals.
land and they evolved to live in the water.
Because they don't.
So they
breathe,
backward
breathe.
evolved?
Did you know
Yeah.
pigs
'Cause
are
we
the
evolved to
only
live on
animal
land and
that's
then they went
closest
back?
related to like
Yeah,
Except
they've,
the swallows
they've got
don't.
they've
if
got
you miss a
finger
liver,
bones in their
you'll
How
have
many
a
they
pig
can just
liver.
go,
Actually,
They
Yeah.
can't really control them. They're like really separated, and
That's
there's a lot of
fair.
stuff in between because they've evolved so far. They're almost gone.
Yeah.
But
There's probably a point
they
in
are.
time where they could have
Which-
done that.
You know-
there's like
Weird.
artistic drawings of like whales when they were
There's like a
land-dwelling
There's like a
animals,
certain
and it's
animal
really
that has just like a pelvic bone.
'Cause
in
blue
the middle of their
whales-
body.
huge,
What
right?
animals
Imagine
that?
that
What
on the
animal
land.
science?
what is it?
Okay, but that's
They
where
have like
giants
a
come
pelvic
from.
bone.
That's where the
in,
theory
like,
of
the
giants
center
come
of
from.
their
Yeah,
body that
exactly.
They don't need.
I was just gonna say it was like one of the long-necked dinosaurs, and
I
then
feel like I know.
I mean,
this.
maybe, yeah.
Potentially.
you know, just
But
a dinosaur
I don't remember
turned
that.
But if it
not
had-
dinosaur.
But the
It's a
long-necked
big
dinosaurs, you
one.
have to think they all have flat feet.
Yeah.
All of those bones would have been flat. They would not have had
I
fingers.
have flat feet.
They have
They-
fingers.
They
I
have
can't get
They
in
call
the
that
draft.
plantar's
I can't
fasciitis.
get in the draft.
Like
they
would
have
had, like,
finger-like
some toes.
things.
They
Just
would
not
have had
the same
toes,
way.
but they
Okay,
wouldn't
guys.
be like as
Back
close to
to
the
the
hand.
gorilla.
that
It
would
could have been
be.
a
Yeah.
lot of things. It could have been like a triceratops. Triceratops have finger-like things.
Dresden,
I just
Do
think
you
pools
know
when
what?
I think of those though.
how
I
much
think
a gorilla can
triceratops
lift?
have fingers.
2,000
Not
pounds.
fingers, but like
Dead weight, 2,000 pounds.
no, not like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's insane.
thing.
I know.
You can go like this and you're gone.
Yeah.
Like
Easily.
what?
I think
What
it
are
is
we
a little
talking
bit more
about?
like
Gorillas can lift 2,000 pounds of dead weight.
Oh yeah.
They can move. No, old cars. Yes.
So they can
Also-
pick up 10 of the men at once.
And their bite
And that's
force,
How
only
heavy are
their
these
bite
people?
force is
Like
like
200
30
pounds.
times
Oh,
as
200
powerful
pounds.
as ours.
Yeah, I guess so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why I think they'd win. Because they just... First dude, are you ready? Gone.
But if 100 men circle a gorilla, it's gonna have a panic attack, right?
I can't
like-
jump. Like,
Are these people, are they
Jump? They
armed
can
at
they
all?
jump?
no armed.
No armed.
This is
Bare
bare.
hands? Got it.
I also saw
You have
something
bare
earlier.
hands?
The gorilla isn't just gonna start like punching. Like it's not gonna pull.
No,
punches
it's gonna like
back and
grab
stuff.
your head and crush it instantly. Like, let's be honest, dude.
From what I saw, I only saw one TikTok about it, but it explained that gorillas don't really do that. They mainly slap and slam.
Yeah, like
If it was an orangutan, you're getting ripped. If it's an orangutan, you're getting ripped apart.
And so I think if it's just slapping,
You need to clean out
and
your
like it's probably a
airways.
really powerful slap, but I think like if it's just slapping,
I could
100
imagine.
guys could
I could
probably
imagine
do it.
like a gorilla like Donkey Kong just like slapping a dude
I
and
need
he
to
flies
clean
like
out
30
my
feet.
Yes, you do, bro.
It's probably what would happen, honestly. Depending on how
Also,
strong they are.
living conditions of the gorilla. Is he hungry for the men? Like, is he eating?
average gorilla.
You hungry for men?
Is he hungry?
Average gorilla, are they
like,
hungry?
starving animals have like that dog in them. Like,
Yeah, they got that
Even if
survival
they're
instinct.
starving or
People-
not, they will still hunt for
the
food.
biggest
A
argument
lot
I've
of
seen,
animals' lives are
is
just
like-
foraging for food.
The
Literally, yeah.
the biggest argument I've seen is like human instinct is like more superior than animal instinct because we have like larger intellects than everyone else.
See, now are they locked in a concrete box? Or is it like in the plains?
I think it should just be like in a flat valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a
'cause
flat
you
open
can,
area. Not
Because
really
if a
any
dude
advantageous spots.
finds a rock,
No, just bare hands.
But
I
if you're
saw-
not
like they're not allowed to use
not
anything.
No twist or anything. It's just like there are 100 guys and one
You know, all
gorilla.
these just surrounding. It's literally fist fighting a gorilla, 100 men.
Yeah.
I still think the gorilla wins. Like low key. And also, they're not going to be all circle. Let's be honest here. There's no strategy before. They're all placed in a room or like in a valley, and they're just there to fight.
They're just there with a gorilla.
There's no strategy. They didn't talk before this. They just get sent there, and then they have to fight.
But
Okay.
at the same time, it's not like one at a time. Like you're gonna have waves of people just running
Yeah,
towards this gorilla.
it's gonna be like, don't worry, guys, I'll get him. Dead. Like it's gonna be the next wave after wave until the gorilla becomes one tap.
Are they just all this like?
Because the gorilla's gonna get tired, hey?
Are we thinking of this as copy and paste man? So like,
No.
if it
It's
was
just
copy and paste
He's,
man,
I think
he's
we're
saying
thinking
random
that.
people.
He's
We're
thinking
he's,
random
okay,
yeah.
you're thinking random people. If it was copy and paste men, and like one dude was just like, I'll get it, and then just gets killed, I feel like every single one would have the same train of thought process and be like,
yeah.
I'll get it. And
Unless
just
it's
one
like
by one
AI
by
like
one by
learning
one.
programs where like they find out what
Yeah.
doesn't work and then the next one's like, I'll change this.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't
I
work.
mean, they are still human, so
I mean, yeah, they still learn,
I simply
but
think humans like is like in a tense situation like that. The average man, like yeah, if you had like 100 Marines.
what is the average IQ?
Probably like 100.
Hey Alexa, what's the average IQ?
An IQ between 90 and 110 is considered average.
so
I was like right on there.
Yeah.
You were. I did an IQ test and I got 155.
Nice.
I've never done an IQ.
I'm
wonder
so
why I
sorry
would
to
get
say
an
this,
IQ
but
test.
the IQ test lied. You're an idiot.
Why did you jump like that?
Okay, guys.
Boom!
But you're on your knees.
All I'm saying.
Okay, let's do the standard American.
Yeah.
There. Copy
Okay.
and paste it in.
All right,
400
so 400 pounds.
So I'm pretty sure
400 pounds
Wait,
in
wait,
a
wait.
scooter. Wait, do
Wait,
they
wait,
get the
wait.
scooter?
Wait,
the
wait.
average male is about 5'9" and 160 pounds.
Okay.
Wait, Alexa.
So my height, your weight.
What is the What is the average American IQ?
It's like 90.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, 97.43 is the average IQ
Oh.
for an American.
All right. So average Joe. Alexa,
Oh, I keep leaning
describe
out
the
of frame.
average person to me.
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
Alexa,
Describe
what
the
is the
average
height
American
of an
man.
American person.
Men is 5'9". You have to include men. If we're saying specifically men,
The
you have to
average height
include
of an
men.
American man is 5 feet 9 inches,
Yeah.
while the average height of an American woman is 5 feet 4 inches.
Yeah, there's a very big
That's
difference.
really
Hey
short.
Alexa,
I'm really.
what is the
Average.
average weight of the American man?
The average height of a
According to an
Japanese
Alexa
woman
Answers
is like
contributor,
5'1".
The average American man weighs 195.8 pounds.
So 5'9".
That's
and
hefty.
195.
That feels more correct than one. I feel like 160 was really low.
Yeah, that's Jacob's weight.
I agree. Yeah. Because I'm
Alexa,
like 164.
What is the average height of a Norwegian woman?
The average height of a woman in Norway is 5 feet 6 inches.
I'm trying to remember what the tallest. Alexa.
Alexa, what country has the tallest people?
Yeah.
Here is what I found from onedropolis.org. Statistically, the country with the tallest people is the Netherlands.
Netherlands, not Norway. Alexa, how tall is the average woman in the Netherlands?
On average, women in the Netherlands are 5 feet 6 inches tall.
Alexa, how tall is the tallest man?
The tallest male person is Sultan Kusin, who is 8 feet 3 inches tall.
Oh.
That
Imagine getting him as one of the random people.
Okay, let's go back to our scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, look at your laugh on the audio real fast.
Dude, it happened last time too.
So we
We almost
got
said 400 pounds.
5'9", 194 pounds
Man.
man, and
Alexa.
100 of them.
Alexa, what is the punch force of the average man?
From Answers.com. On average, a punch from an untrained individual may have a force of around 100 to 200 pounds, while a trained boxer or martial artist can generate forces exceeding 800 pounds.
100 to 200 is a big range.
So this is
Alexa.
150. Yeah.
Alexa,
We're on the same train.
what is the average punch of a gorilla?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a gorilla's punch has approximately 1,300 to 2,700 pounds of force.
Alexa, how strong is the punch of a trained martial arts gorilla?
From thebiggest.net, it is believed that a gorilla punch is strong enough to shatter your skull with one slam of its arm / between 1,300 to 2,700 pounds of force.
Yeah.
Colon
Dude, those men
slash.
are cooked.
Colon slash is a very important statement.
Okay, so let's say
Those men are cooked.
Colon
let's
slash.
say we give the average man a duplicate. They have no strategy before going in,
Okay.
but they all think different.
Average American man.
Average American man. So
Yes.
they get like just a bunch of average people, not the same person, but they're just in that average range, 5'9", 160 to like 190 pounds.
Yeah.
There we go. That's who.
Alexa.
That's who our data pool is.
What is the average height of a Netherlands man?
6 foot.
The average height of a man in the Netherlands is 5 feet 11 inches. This information is sourced from a study that looked at the height of men in various countries. It is important to note that factors such as genetics, nutrition, healthcare,
I'm sorry, I
and
keep
living
leaning out
conditions can
from.
also
We've only
influence
been
an
recorded
individual's
for
height.
8 minutes.
There you
8?
go.
8 minutes. How long has it been going on there?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
You did turn that on a lot longer than we turned that one on.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
So reasonably, who do you think would win? I think it's the gorilla.
I agree
Yeah.
with the gorilla.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
the average man, yeah, I would say the gorilla.
So let's say we get 100 Marines versus a silverback gorilla. Who would win?
Alexa,
I think
what is the average punch of a trained Marine?
400.
From
Said
Answers.com.
800.
On average, a trained martial artist can generate a
I
punch
said
force of
Marine,
around
but-
400 to 600 pounds, 180 to 270 kilograms.
That's
okay. Alexa,
say their max strength 600
How
pounds.
strong? Wait, how strong is the skin of a gorilla?
From StackExchange.com. My guess is somewhere between 5 and 10 times as strong as a grown man, depending on the task.
okay.
Okay, so martial artists can take punches from 800 pounds.
A gorilla at the lowest was 1,300.
Yeah. But let's be honest, we're given an average gorilla, so it's going to be like in the middle there. So it's around 2K.
2K, yeah.
Remember,
But there are also
your bones-
100 of them.
okay.
Like, I just think the numbers alone would make it.
But Alexa did also just say one punch from a gorilla can fracture a man's skull. And do you think somebody could fight when their freaking skull is just like in fragments?
No.
Well, even if a gorilla hits one man and there's a man behind him because there's 100, they could probably both get knocked out.
Niche question. Alexa, how many punches can a gorilla do before it's out of energy?
That's what I was thinking.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, what is the stamina of a gorilla?
From StackExchange.com. A gorilla can indeed wield a 30 kilograms, 60 pounds, sledgehammer for 2 or 3 minutes. Then the gorilla must stop working, because once the oxygen reserves stored locally in the muscles are gone, they are gone and need time to be replenished.
So we can hold a 30-pound sledge,
Swinging it
swinging it for 3 minutes.
straight. Like, just nonstop. That's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
Now
So-
imagine that 30-pound sledgehammer flinging at these people. He's just going.
Yeah.
Probably swinging it like a big circle.
Oh,
He
so
just jumps in the middle.
records for like 11 minutes and then starts a new video.
Weird.
That's weird.
That's
Okay.
gonna suck for you.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's worse than the other camera.
Um,
What is
It
the
did,
other camera?
it did 15 minutes.
so I feel like the guys would just play keep away, really.
Yeah, I feel like they would like
Even just
you know how like bullfighting goes?
yeah, where you
Like,
just play keep
yeah,
away.
I feel like
you-
that's
you
until
wouldn't
they
wanna-
tire the gorilla out and then they'd all go
But
ham.
do you think you can reasonably... Because a gorilla is a lot smarter than a bull. Let's
Look,
be honest.
what happens if these men punch him straight in the eye, right?
Okay, do you
Put
know
a put a
do you know
finger out,
do you know a
right
tall
aimed at
gorilla-
Jacob.
Do you know how tall a gorilla is?
It's like
Alexa.
8 feet.
What's the average height of a gorilla?
A gorilla's average height is 5 feet 7 inches.
Oh.
Whoa.
Alexa.
I'm
What is
taller.
the tallest gorilla?
What is a gorilla's reaction time?
The gorilla's anatomy is similar to that of humans, with a muscular body, a large brain,
That's
and an
not
upright
what we
walking.
asked.
Alexa, what is the reaction time of a gorilla?
The gorilla's reaction time is around 0.2 to 0.3 seconds, which is similar to that
A
of
human
humans.
is 0.3.
Okay.
So,
Similar to a
the
human.
same as a
Same
human.
reaction time.
Okay, so if we have a hostile gorilla in apex predator mode, right?
Okay, are we
And
going?
we got a dude trying to go like this to the gorilla. Like, I'm gonna poke your eye. Bro, this is gonna go.
Yeah, but what if
Fucking
we
chuck him, like-
what if we all right, strategize. We get 10 of these identical men and we say go for the eyes. If someone gets one of those eyes, that gorilla's done.
But then again,
What's the gorilla
think,
gonna do?
if the gorilla knows and they're already strong, these arms are like thick, so he could just go
Yeah, he can
and cut
shield.
like half
He
of these
said-
people's arms off.
Yeah, he can go.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
And then it's like whatever.
Gorillas are actually like really nice animals.
They are, unless you put a child
Except
in.
for-
Provoked,
Harambe.
yeah.
I was about to say.
Harambe was actually trying to save the child.
Yeah.
If you watch the video. It's quite sad. Can't believe the 360 no scoped him. On God, on blood.
Here's what you do. You send all 100 men at the eyes at once.
I said 10 to 15.
I said 100.
Oh,
Oh, they're all running in.
because
But that's-
this
but
gorilla
that's
can do
strategy.
this, and if there's a bunch of people in front of them, they can go.
I don't think that they would
Do you
just.
think
Okay.
all 100 men are gonna commit?
Okay, but what if the gorilla just like hits a
I think-
breakdance move and spin kicks them all?
The gorilla's like,
Oh, you're right.
Do the humans
Dude,
even have the
okay.
time to plan this together?
I don't know. Yeah, I
They're
don't know.
just thrown in there with the gorilla.
if you think they're in a survival situation, right? You're gonna do whatever you can to survive. If so, I think some of them would fight. I
But do
think
you
a lot
think-
of people would count.
Are we still talking about
Would
range
hide.
or average humans?
Average humans.
Okay, well, do you think any average human today has any survival instinct?
No.
That's true. That's true, because especially average Americans,
Especially
you
average
put them out in the
American
woods,
men.
they're gonna be like, "Where's my food?"
The average American man's gonna be like, I can't wait to go to my 9 to 5 and then go do drugs. Like,
Yeah.
My
true.
my coworkers
And
were
eat
making
15 burgers.
jokes. My coworkers were making jokes this week because I was talking about, or we were just talking about old jobs, and they're like, "Yeah, one day you were just at McDonald's and you're like, man, I hate this job. I'm gonna go work in IT," and they just kept making it was pretty much the same joke, just with like a different thing for 20 minutes, where they would just be
Wow.
like, "Man, I don't want to be on the headset anymore. I'm gonna go work in IT. I'm gonna go do software support."
I
That's
keep
real.
getting the
The ice
jokes
cream
that are
machine
like,
keeps breaking.
please censor the word
I'm
job.
gonna go work in IT.
Like, job
she
application.
just said
ugh.
the J word. We do not use that kind of language around here.
At least I'm employed.
Back to the gorillas. At least everyone on this couch is employed.
That's true.
That's why you're segregated.
Hey,
Loser.
I'm close.
What?
Oh man.
I'm close to getting a job.
Where?
With what interview?
PSP.
What?
Pharmaceutical sucking power.
Pet Supplies Plus.
Oh.
With what interview and
Well,
schedule?
I put an application, and Dresden has been telling me very good things
Yes. I have also been telling my bosses very good things.
all
That's
day.
good.
They're gonna call him tomorrow.
That's good.
Dresden really
Hopefully.
wants me to work there. I feel like he needs a little.
I do, mainly because I just want you to have a job so I can stop paying for you.
He wants to stop.
And
being
this is
your
the
bank.
best chance you have.
When did you guys first get your jobs?
I got a job in
2 months ago. Wait.
8th grade.
Your first job.
First
my
job,
first job.
15 and a half.
I was 14 when I got my.
I was asking to have a job by 14, but I didn't get
I
one until
was
15 and a
15
half.
and 2 months when I got my first job.
I started at Pet Supplies a week before I turned 17. I worked in a warehouse before that, but it was like
You
not
got
much
your
of
job a little bit before me, a few months before me, because I was looking for a job, but you found it a lot easier.
I got mine
'Cause
the
he's a man.
June
Because he
after.
went to McDonald's.
Oh.
It was literally the only place I
He went
applied
to
to, and they
the
were like,
bottom.
"Yeah, chill."
Yeah.
It was honestly, it was
I
the
didn't
closest
wanna
place.
work
That
in
was
food.
why.
I worked at Panera
Because
during
I
like the
can-
whole
Yeah.
like sparked lemonade
Mm.
scandal that happened.
What was wrong with what?
People were like dying because they drank too much of the lemonade there.
It's so good.
The stuff that they put the caffeine in, and they didn't say in big letters how much caffeine, so people would drink like 10 cups and then
They got,
die
like,
from
heart
caffeine
conditions,
overdose.
and
Oh.
they'd drink it
Yeah.
and die.
Dude, I like sophomore, junior year after school, I would go there and just sit and drink their spark tea and lemonade and stuff.
The one in
Blood's
Apple.
getting prepared
yeah,
to be an
sounds like that.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's going to the bars
First
after
it's
school.
the caffeine.
It was like super
Then it's
calming.
alcohol.
I would just like hang out in there for a little
It's
bit. And
calming.
There's multiple different states.
Calms him down, brings him to a different
Oh.
I don't
place.
know what state we live in.
That's
Oh,
not what
okay.
caffeine does. Caffeine does not calm you down.
caffeine doesn't like make me hyper or anything.
It makes me tired, actually.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, as I
agree.
say, a
But
lot
it
of
gets rid of my
neurodivergence.
headaches. I'm addicted to caffeine. I get really bad headaches if I don't have caffeine.
I did for a bit. There was only one
You just
time that
gotta
it made
stop.
me.
You gotta
That's
go
what I did. I
filter.
was
No,
like
but I
2
like
monsters a day and just
coffee.
decided one day I was
Yeah, I was
done.
about to say I just stopped. I was drinking energy drinks.
Yeah, well, I
And I
stopped
just
drinking
moved from
energy drinks,
coffee.
but I stopped drinking energy drinks because I stopped eating sugar.
There was only one time that the caffeine made me hyper. One day at McDonald's, I was
Oh,
like,
God.
man, I'm so tired. I was working like an evening shift after school,
Well, if
and
you
we
drink
had
too
a
much caffeine, you crash out.
yeah. So I got there's a gas station right next to the McDonald's I worked at. So I got 3 energy drinks and
Oh my
drank
God.
them in like 30 minutes.
Oh my
You, like,
God.
Passed out, basically.
No, I was like, I was quivering. I was
I am
shivering.
ready to work.
I mean,
I was not good.
Yeah.
It was not a good time.
Yeah.
Both eyes
Caffeine is
twitching.
in
Like,
fact a drug, and you can like.
You can get addicted.
Yeah, I am.
Like twitching and stuff. I would like look at customers with just the most dazed expression.
You'd be like,
hi, Big Mac? Okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna get-
right
yeah,
away, right away.
1775.
Like I'm pretty sure the plant
Mm,
they
no
get
ice cream.
caffeine.
No.
If you like eat one of the seeds, you will die from like how powerful it is. Like this much powder. Like if I like have my hand and like there's just like a little like salt like thing of powder. If I eat that, I'll die.
From what, caffeine?
Like,
Yeah.
Alexa,
it takes a small
how much
amount.
caffeine does one coffee seed have? Bean.
From StackExchange.com,
Coffee bean.
there are about 6 milligrams of caffeine in one coffee bean.
Hey, Alexa.
Do you have a really low tolerance?
It's like the plant. It's one of the plants it comes from.
Alexa,
Cocaine.
how much caffeine is in your typical coffee?
70
60 to
milligrams.
100, I think.
I think it's.
It's 60.
1 cup of coffee has 94.7 milligrams of
94%.
caffeine.
Okay, I said 60 to 100. I was close.
You were in that range. Yeah, but the mean bean energy
Bro,
drink.
what is up with you and the mean bean?
It has like 200.
The mean
300
bean?
in it.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, a
some
lot of
drink
monsters
at
had
a gas
240 milligrams
station
of caffeine.
he's
I would
like
drink 2 of
obsessed
those a
with.
day.
The
Oh my God.
lemonades at Panera had about
3 in
like
an hour is
300
crazy.
something.
Yeah.
And the large ones had like 600.
Alexa,
That's
how much
wild.
caffeine did the sparked lemonade at Panera have?
We love Alexa this
From
episode.
thesun.com. According to Panera's website, the drink has 390 milligrams of
Yeah,
caffeine,
and people were
which is
drinking
more
like
than
5 of
Monster
those.
Energy and Red Bull
They were,
Within 2 hours.
they were just like
Combined.
Dying.
3 little.
That's-
I used to drink 3 of those during my shift because they didn't say how much was on there.
I didn't even. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know they had caffeine.
Yeah, I know. That's why people died from it.
I just
Because
thought
they
that it
didn't
was
do a
just
good
like
job
lemonade.
of saying that they did, and then people died, and
Yeah.
then they were like, well, shoot, I guess we gotta say
That
now.
happened in the summer of 24.
69. The summer of 69.
Last summer?
No, that was two.
2 summers.
That
Summer
was 2 or
of
3.
23. It was the summer of 23. And we had to put them behind the counter after
Yeah,
that happened.
You still have to ask.
You know, talking about Panera Bread,
I don't know if
there
you
was
do.
this time where a bunch of like kids walked in with like a dead squirrel, and they were trying to preserve the body with like salt and pepper by the drinks.
Ew.
What?
We had to kick them out.
Wait, no, really?
Yeah, I don't know. That was like the weirdest thing that.
Did they
happened.
preserve the squirrel?
I don't know.
They kicked him out. That's gross.
Yeah.
The place I work at has fitting rooms, and a lot of people have come to me and been like, the restrooms are back here, right? And if I didn't tell them or I left them alone, I wonder how many piles of pee or whatever would be in those fitting rooms.
What?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
I always
I would
get
hate to
asked if
work
we have
there.
a public bathroom.
Where do you work?
Marshalls, right? Yeah.
I'm so sorry
Yeah.
for your loss.
They haven't scheduled me in over a month.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Sure you still work there?
Yeah. You said that you had a job.
Shoot, I can still log into the app and see everything.
You should.
I mean, I was at
try-
work today.
Have you
I
been
am
applying to different
employed.
places?
I was also at work today.
I have a summer job.
What's the summer job?
The vet clinic place.
How much do you pay an hour for that?
Just minimum wage, which is like
I didn't-
$10.75.
It's $10.70, I think, right?
I thought it was 1080.
It's 1070
$10.70.
in Ohio.
They're offering at most 20 hours a week. So if I just camp out there like every day,
It's $200 before taxes.
I get paid bi-weekly, so
I'm a server, so I get paid
It's like
$5.35
$3.20 every 2 weeks.
plus tips. Tips are good. I got $80 in tips today.
Is that right,
That's good.
Dresden?
What?
$3.20 every 2 weeks for minimum
I
wage.
got $0 in
if you're
tips
taking
today.
out like social
'Cause you work a
security
9 to
and
5.
tax.
Working 9 to 5. And I don't know any
I
else of
don't know
that
either.
song.
Probably a little
For
more.
how long? 30-hour week?
20 week.
20 hour week? Probably. Well, let's do the math. 10.
No way he's doing that in his head. I could never.
Wait, what's the math?
It's
Well,
probably
how much does the
probably
average
5 to
American get
6.
taxed?
Too much.
Too much.
True.
Yeah. I make over
Hey, Siri,
1,000 a paycheck.
It's different.
I make
That's a hard
$150.
thing to
Alexa.
average.
What is
Oh,
what
I
is
need
the
to tell my
average
boss I can
amount
work
of
more
money
hours.
somebody has to pay on their taxes? What percentage?
I'm gonna do that when it's not almost midnight.
I want to say it's like 3 or 6.
The
No,
top
no,
earning
no, that
Americans
can
pay
be
an
wild. It might
effective
make our
average
hanging
tax
schedule
rate of
goofy if he schedules me
26%,
Tuesday,
while the
Thursday,
bottom
but-
40% pay about
figure it out.
4% of their income to the
Well,
IRS.
always
According to the
do.
Tax Foundation's November analysis of 2022 tax data, based on the
So someone
latest
will-
available.
Alexa,
Yeah, Sunday
stop.
evenings.
Alexa, shut your yap.
Apologies.
We're like I'm pretty sure we're like the middle tax bracket.
We're considered middle class. I know my family would be considered upper middle class.
My family as well.
I think my family now is probably middle, like dead center middle class, but growing up I was definitely low middle class, very low.
If my
I've been in
when
everywhere.
my dad retires, we're gonna be
I actually have been.
Higher
We
up.
started like
because I
So
know
with
he is over 2
broke.
million in
We-
retirement. It's quite insane.
you know, we're not
We, including
Very
our
far from
investments,
that.
will have like $9 or $10 million.
Bro's
Yeah,
got the
but
best
that's
healthcare
insane.
you
So,
could
like-
ever have.
I think my dad at some point declared bankruptcy.
My parents have done that. I think more than once.
They're like,
At least twice.
hello, we are bankrupt.
Okay, here's money.
I don't think I was alive when it happened.
What do
I
they even
was.
do
I was
when they,
like 10.
when you declare bankruptcy?
I don't know. They're just like,
Do they
they
just put
probably
you in
charge
some
less
program?
tax and put you in a program.
Like, oh, my
They
bad.
it erases all your debt, but I think they can come and take some
Assets.
I'm assuming they just liquefy shit to your assets.
Yeah, and then a lot of your credit score gets kind of wiped. Not even wiped. It taints your credit score. That's the big thing that I think.
Which credit score? That's
important.
I feel like credit score is like
if you're gonna buy a car or a house.
Isn't it like good to have above like a 650?
As I say,
650 is low.
650 is low. Mine's.
I don't know what mine is.
You can
My
pretty
parents
much
is
get
like
a loan
$835.
with 650.
Damn.
I think my
Just
dad-
not a
Dude,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm telling you, my car payment was $435 a month on my credit, which was 0. Put it on my parents, I pay $185 a month
Damn.
because their credit's like $835.
I think credit score is
Dresden,
just an
you also
obnoxious
need to realize
thing.
you need to start giving yourself a credit score. So
Oh, I know. That's why I
Do you
pay.
have
So
do you
you
have a
have a
credit
credit?
card?
I have my credit card and I pay it off.
I mean, like, a car
Mine's
is kind of high
$652 right
collateral,
now.
though. So obviously, it's going to be a lot more than like you just taking out a personal loan.
I have an obscenely good credit score.
His parents did. Your parents did good with that.
Yeah, my parents set me up.
I don't know how to look at my credit score.
I just look at mine through my banks or like my.
One of you
Capital
Face
One
ID?
account.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Jacob, toss me my phone.
My
What card do you
my
have?
credit score is
I have
777.
a USA Visa.
That's a very
My
good
credit score
I said that we
0.
were going to do this every podcast. It's been like 3. Let's check out my investments.
Yeah.
Oh, they've probably gone up. a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
invested $5,000 in the stock market not too long
Nice.
ago.
And
And it was at
that's when it
4:30
plummeted.
last time
Huh?
we checked.
That's when it plummeted.
Oh,
That was
yeah?
right before it plummeted.
Right. So
So he got the.
I'm
if,
so
if you would have
sorry.
invested like 2 weeks later, you would have made so much.
Oh, I
money.
know. Let's
See
see
how
if I've
much.
recovered. You think I've recovered, Jacob?
My dad was like right
I
about to
think
invest
he
in the
would've-
GameStop right before it got like really big. And
yeah.
if he would have, he would have
Made
made so
some.
much freaking cash.
All right, my investments, last time we checked on the podcast 3 weeks ago, we're at 4,300. I'm currently at 5,103.
That's,
So
you're up
I've
100.
recovered. I'm up $100.
Pretty
So,
good. Your financial
we're getting
advisor
there.
is doing well.
Yes, he is very good. By the time I'm 40, when this $5,000 comes out of the IRA, it'll be almost $1 million. Is
Really?
what's projected. Yeah,
I mean, to
So-
be fair, stocks
it's hard to project stocks.
Stocks are not real money.
No, you have to
Technically.
trade them back in.
Exactly. And
Stocks.
sure,
I just gave $5,000 to some dude, and he's spending it in fun places
Mhm.
till I get more.
Good
Is
thing we
that-
can't buy on
Is that
margin
kind of like
anymore.
your retirement fund currently?
Yeah,
Is
you
that-
can't have a 401k till you're 21. So
I
at
have-
Pet Supplies Plus.
Oh, okay. I was
Sorry.
going to say
Sorry.
I have
At Pet
one.
Supplies Plus, you can have a 401k.
I was like,
till you're
oh,
21.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
I can start one at my work if I wanted to
I
right
cannot.
now.
I cannot. So
I actually
That's
have
kinda
it
what
set
this
to
is for
start,
now.
but it hasn't started
I
yet.
I also
don't
I put
know.
$100 a month in this as well.
I don't know how much
Actually, so I'm up $3.
Oh, right.
my
Because I put
401k
100 in
definitely
at
got hurt when
some point.
Trump killed everything.
When
Yeah.
Trump crashed the stock
says
market.
that we can't say his name. I'm kidding.
Oh,
People
God,
are
and
just-
you can-
people are gonna crack
you
up.
can see it. I haven't.
Oh,
been
we
doing
talk
this for
politics
super
so
long,
often.
But,
Yeah, there's a podcast
you can
where
see
we
the
really
dip.
talk about politics.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
there's
can-
like
And it's
3
the only one
actually.
on here, really.
Sorry, I was
really
just
talk
looking
about
at like how much you had in general.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
My
That's
nose
very
take
good.
off. Well, I want to see. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you can
For
see the dip.
18?
Yes, you can see that. That's for sure.
It's
Good.
not good. Well, it's good,
It's gotten better.
but
it's going back up.
it wasn't good for a minute. Everyone at
okay.
my work was like super upset about it.
Mhm.
Oops.
Um,
Sorry, guys.
Trump, you hear that
Some
when
people's-
Trump crashed it, he said that
Ooh.
it was the remnants of Biden's stock market.
I was kind of annoyed by
The
that.
only
I was
reason-
also annoyed by that
The
because he
only
did
freaking
that.
reason why it uncrashed is because he took all the tariffs off for like 90 days.
Yeah,
My
for 90
mom
days.
said that he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
He
is.
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, just
it's
to make
it's a
his rich
really
friends even
easy
richer.
way to get
It's
Yeah.
filthy
actually
rich.
very illegal, and it's called market manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since it's run by the government, he can control it.
Mhm. And that's
Practically.
because the stock market is federally mandated after the Great Depression. So
Yes.
I will say I'm gonna
After
try
Black
taking
Tuesday.
advantage of it next time he does it, because I'm assuming that he's gonna
Just
bring all those tariffs back in 90 days.
I've
Dude.
been reading recently, and like apparently like terms with Russia is getting like really good, and we're about to go like a lot of diplomacy with them.
So could they be a trade partner?
Yes. Well, we already do trade with them,
Well, I know, but more so.
but like détente more of.
Okay. There's this guy that came into work today, and he was like, did you see that Trump is putting embargoes on people buying oil from Iran and China. And I was like, oh, dang. And he said something, and I was like, fair enough. And he was like, it's not fair.
Oh.
And I was like, oh,
Have a good
Sir,
day.
I just
sorry.
work here.
I just said that because I didn't know what to say.
Did he like apologize to you or something?
No, he didn't. But, like, I hate when people talk politics because I don't know which side they're on. And
It's-
no
it's
matter what I
weird.
say, I'm offending someone because I hate both sides.
Right.
So, what do I do?
When it would
You know-
happen to me, I just wouldn't say anything. I would just be like,
Just
Yep,
smile
I
and
get
nod.
that. Just
That's
like-
what I would do at
The
work. Like, I
only
haven't
issue-
gotten it yet, but that's
the
what
only-
I would do at work. Because I work as a server, and I'm representing this small-owned company. Because this isn't like an Applebee's or something.
But
Yeah.
they did invent the cheeseburger.
they did
That's
invent the
true.
cheeseburger. They invented the burger.
The
Please don't
burger.
hunt me down by using that
Burger.
information.
Aren't there two of them? Like,
yeah,
Right
there's
here?
one on,
Yeah.
like,
Don't
yeah, there's one on and
hunt
then
us
one
down.
in
There's one on
downtown.
redacted, and there's also one on redacted.
Yeah.
don't hunt me down for that one. But
There's
I
probably
know there's some people there that are Trumpies because
There's
they
probably,
laughed
like-
at people like protesting against Trump outside. Like,
Really?
yeah, they laughed at
Doesn't
that in the
Trump-
group chat.
Trump looks up to like Ronald Reagan a lot, right?
I don't know.
Okay, so speaking of Ronald Reagan, something that I get really frustrated by is when people call the last election a landslide election. Because it just wasn't. It was not.
Ronald Reagan
Ronald
was a win.
Reagan's election
We talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was
he
insane.
won 47 states out of the 3.
Out of the three,
Out of the three.
Out of the
47
three-
states out
Or
of the
no,
three.
Out of-
he won all
out of-
but Minnesota, I thought.
No, I think Carter also won New Jersey, and I want to say somewhere else.
pretty.
It's
I don't
crazy
know.
when you get California and New York to turn red. That's when you know you're losing.
Like,
Yeah.
that is what I deem as a landslide election, because it just was.
It was-
This one literally was not a
It
It
landslide.
was
wasn't.
like 490 to 30 or something like that.
Just wasn't even like... I don't
Though-
know. It's just something that really frustrates me, because this was not...
If you check the popular vote, it is split. Like, that's where it's getting. And it's because, like, we're no longer, like, in a golden age of liberalism or conservatism. And it just kind of, like, fluctuates back and forth.
Mhm.
And it's kind of been doing that since, like, the 1960s. Like, usually it's after, like, a great economic crash. Like we see in 2008 when the house market crashed, we got a liberal president. Because we needed more help from the government, so government programs, which is a liberal thing.
Mhm.
So usually when, like, it just kind of fluctuates based on the economy, I feel like. Little Jacob thought.
Valid?
When COVID hit, bad economic times, guess we'll be elected? A Democratic president. After COVID, economy was good, people wanted more money, we elected Trump.
And now we have less money.
And now we have less
And
money.
then we're
So
gonna...
then we're probably going to go back to a liberal type economy.
No.
With Trump, if he does, do you know the progress on him getting the order signed to run 3 terms?
He's not going to win.
He's not.
I call BS on that. He's already...
It's in the Constitution that you can only run 2 terms.
But he's trying to overwrite the Constitution.
But the Constitution is like that's
It's the documents that our
It's also
country is
written in
run
the
off of.
Constitution that the people are allowed to revolt if the leader is breaking the Constitution.
Yes,
I say we
or
revolt.
overstepping in any way. That's why we are revolting.
But also in the Constitution, there's probable cause.
We are revolting children.
It's like the last thing in the Constitution where it's like, it's very loosely constructed, so if change is needed, they can. I love IT.
Because I'm pretty sure the founding fathers intended for the Constitution to be updated like every now and then.
That's the
Yeah.
Federalists did, not the Democratic Republicans.
Yeah, but that's the Bill of Rights, is it not?
No,
No, that's different. That's a different
that's
thing.
different. It's the Constitution under probable cause.
Okay. Okay.
I had to write something about it. I don't remember. An essay.
And for SAQ.
Short answer question.
But yeah,
The temptation to just
I know. I know. It's got to be there. We're still on the couch with no back. The one with the back's over there.
I find
Why
it
is
funny
it-
the way you're sitting because you're so animated when you sit like that because you've been like.
I know, because I have ADHD. I can't stop moving.
Yeah. It's just you're moving a lot more when you're sitting like that than when you usually sit.
Well, because
Because like typically you sit like him.
Look, all right. I'm sitting like this, and I'm like, ow. there's like hairs pinching. So then I like sit up, fix it, and then I'm like, this is nice. My foot's not comfortable.
Yeah.
So Dresden,
I should back
why
up.
don't you? Why don't you just bring that?
Because it's too heavy.
Because it's surrounded by stuff.
It wasn't before.
I want that ball.
No, it wasn't.
I want the thing that ball is on.
the cone.
Cajon?
I want the cajon.
Dresden.
Yes.
And I have the
I'm
cajon.
sitting in.
Okay. Everyone, welcome the co-host of the podcast to the podcast. You can come back. Sit here. Oh.
No, I go down.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry, Cable.
Ball.
Mo.
Low key, if it was not Trump, I would
Norse
probably
mythology?
vote red.
Sorry.
If it was not Trump and it was not like about like birthrights and stuff, I would vote red.
Yeah,
I
I kind of wish that we would move
RFK.
away from social issues.
I voted.
RFK
I
went
voted.
downhill.
I voted Kamala Harris.
So did
I
I.
was very close to
RFK,
voting for RFK, but then he
joined sides with Trump.
He-
Got
Yeah.
endorsed with
He
Trump.
went really
Even-
far.
even
He
Or
went-
endorsed Trump.
even before that, he kind of like dove off a cliff.
Yeah, he did, but because people thought that he didn't like vaccinations, that he was anti-vax, which he wasn't. But they did get pretty much all of the artificial food dyes banned.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
I did
So-
just see that. That was really cool.
Yeah,
That
they did
is
that
good.
like a week ago, so that was awesome.
Yeah, so he's doing an okay job.
All the
I'm not-
red,
I'm not gonna
blue,
lie.
one of the greens.
There was one time
The
I ate
yellows-
a bag of...
The yellows cause cancer.
Mhm.
They all cause cancer.
I want
actually.
cancer.
I had eaten a...
Natural
what?
colors like
I
Canada.
had eaten a whole
You don't.
bag of the red spicy Funyuns.
I want
Yeah.
to be a
and proceeded
deported
to
child.
puke within the hour. Because those were nothing but red 40.
Yeah, no.
This is
And
a
our
very
food is so
squeaky.
processed, which is another thing. RFK doesn't eat processed food. That's why he's jacked.
Dude, yeah, I was about to say that guy is.
That's got to be the worst sound.
I
Sorry.
wanted something to play with. Oh, that's the camera right there. Whoops.
That's fine.
Dresden, do you think you'd be? Do you think you'd vote red, pre 2016?
I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
blue
know.
is my favorite color.
Okay.
That's valid.
I don't know. I tend to think that I would vote for whoever's right. For whoever, I
you
agree.
physically, yeah.
Yes.
Whoever you agree with.
If I read up on Trump's ideas and I'm like, wow, I love this idea of ruining our country, I would have voted for him. But
love
I
this
didn't
idea
like
of-
that idea.
I love this idea of supposedly cheaper gas.
Yeah,
The
that,
gas has only gone
that-
up.
that
It hasn't
didn't
gone up a lot,
happen.
but it has.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Actually, it stayed pretty constant.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've seen it actually go
Around
down.
like
before
$3.
beforehand, I was constantly around like 275 from where I was, and
Now it's like 3.
yeah, I was about to say for the past like
320.
month and a half, it's been around 325 for me.
Yeah, I get gas in usually.
and that could just be the normal fluctuation, or it's
I remember-
the orange's fault.
I think when Obama was president, I think it was like $1.80, almost $2 a
Okay, well
gallon.
that was 2008.
Yeah, I know that was a while ago,
2009 to
but-
2016.
but still, I hope that
Who's getting... Why are you getting
Obama runs for president again.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, I think he
I'll
should.
check and see if it's
I think he would win.
No, it's the family group chat.
Well, hopefully we just don't have any presidents running for a third term because that is wrong.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nah,
Not a good, not a
not
good thing.
not wrong, just unconstitutional.
It feels wrong.
It feels wrong because it's unconstitutional, but I think if it was constitutional, I don't know if many people would care.
Yeah.
I think it's more the idea that people are trying to get around the
Too far
Constitution, which is
back.
supposed to be like the safeguard
yes.
of our democracy in the state that it's in.
Right.
And people are trying to get around that, and that's what they don't like. But like, we've had presidents run for more terms. We have had one president have more than 2 terms before. That was
Washington.
No, not Washington. It
Did
was
another one run?
Roosevelt. Yeah, Roosevelt
Oh, 'cause
had
he
like
ran-
4 terms.
Didn't he run as vice president, and then his president died, and he became president?
No,
and
this
then won
this
2 more
was
terms?
before it was in the Constitution that you could only have 2 terms. So
Wasn't
he,
it put in there when Washington was president?
Mm-mm. No, it was put in there in
Oh.
like the 60s, I think. Roosevelt got elected right at the onset of the Great Depression.
Jacob, you need to be a part of this.
Roosevelt
conversation.
got elected in 19.
32?
Yeah, I think so, because
Yeah.
who was
Hoover.
Hoover. Yeah, because there was Hoover.
Yeah, because
bills.
Hoover screwed the pooch.
Because Hoover treated the Great Depression very wrong, which is why he lost the election.
Yeah.
And then FDR, who was a Democrat, and it did a bunch of social programs. This was before, like, communism, so we were allowed to do stuff like that.
This wasn't before this was after communism.
No, 1929 to... Great Depression was
The
1929.
Soviets were there
Yeah,
from...
but the Cold War didn't start yet.
Oh, okay.
So we weren't...
Well, that's different.
We weren't under, like, the Truman Doctrine yet.
Yeah.
Fucking love the Truman Doctrine. I
Um,
didn't like Truman.
but yeah, so he served his 2 main terms just doing the Great Depression. And then World War II started, and they're
So
like,
he's
hey, let's
the
keep
third.
this dude.
Because he knows what he's doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
And then
remember
that's,
that.
like, the Big Three conference.
And then he died, right?
He died
And then
towards
Truman came in.
He died towards the end, in between the second and third conference. And then Truman talked about the A-bomb at the third one, which started the Cold War.
Good job, Truman.
I have no clue about any of this stuff.
Sorry. That made me sad.
What'd you do?
And watermelon, right in it.
Oh, unfortunate. Watermelon juice. Oh, oh no, that's gonna be sticky. Go rinse your hand off.
Here's a bath. Go
That made me,
to bed.
that made me sad.
I'm so sorry.
It wasn't even your fault.
That was
I was just getting like
Dang.
comfortable. And then...
It was good watermelon though.
good
I
watermelon.
low-key think
For $5, I hope it was.
one of, like, the best and worst presidents we've ever had was Lyndon B. Johnson.
I don't know much about Lyndon B. Johnson.
The reason why he lost the election against Reagan was because of how poorly he treated Vietnam.
Who?
Lyndon
Johnson.
B. Johnson.
Oh, Johnson was...
Lindy Johnny, that's who we call him. In
that
the-
Richard
Johnson
Nixon?
was president.
Was that Nixon that was after? And then he did Watergate.
Nixon did Watergate.
Yeah.
And then Gerald Ford. No, not Gerald Ford. Was it Gerald Ford? Who was Kennedy's vice president?
That was Johnson.
Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson. Then Nixon. Nixon resigned. Gerald Ford. Then
Who do you
Carter. And then
guys-
it was Reagan. And then it was Bush. And then it was, I think, Clinton. And then Bush again. And then Obama. And then Trump. Look at me.
Good job.
And then
I can't
Biden,
do
And then
that.
Trump.
Who do you guys think was the worst president in American history?
Trump.
Trump.
I don't know
not
much
good
about
with
history.
history.
But
Actually, no.
God, okay, I was
I
about to
don't-
say I'm in the minority. I think Andrew Johnson
Andrew
was the
Johnson
worst.
was pretty
Yeah.
bad.
What did he do?
I
don't know
it's
much
more like
about
what he
history.
didn't do.
He basically allowed black codes to still happen in the South, and he was Lincoln's vice president.
So Lincoln started Reconstruction. Do you remember that?
Do you know
I don't know. I
Reconstruction
slept
is?
through all my history
Reconstruction.
classes,
It was after the
Yeah,
Civil
me
War. It's
too.
pretty much Lincoln's
It
attempt
was
to
rebuilding the
rebuild the
South.
South
Yeah.
and make it more
Industrial.
equal, industrial, just better as a whole.
When Lincoln got assassinated, though, freaking Andrew
VP.
Johnson took over, and he kind of got kicked out of Congress. Like, he couldn't get anything through Congress anymore. Everything vetoed him through 2/3 majority. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he made a deal with the South during a presidential election, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to pretty much end Reconstruction and to remove Union troops from the South in return for giving
Which allowed black
the
codes.
Republicans the presidencies, which allowed black codes
And then we got things-
stopped industrialization.
And then we got, like, Plessy v. Ferguson,
Yeah.
and then,
I'm back.
like, the Jim Crow laws, which started segregation.
It's
all his fault.
It's a really big reason why the South is the way it still is today. Like, it's still
Racist.
it's racist. It still feels very
It's
poor
like
compared.
racist,
I mean, unless you're in
nudist,
like
hippie.
Unless you're in, like,
Florida
or, like, Georgia.
yeah, Florida, Georgia,
Like, anything that's on
or
the East Coast.
Texas.
But, like, Mississippi,
Georgia line.
Alabama,
This is how we
Oklahoma.
roll. That's
Like
Florida.
even New Orleans
Bro.
has declined, and that was like
Significantly.
the main, not the main city. Richmond was the biggest
Richmond.
city, but like New Orleans was set to grow. I mean, it was at the mouth of the Mississippi. I'm sorry. I'm the person who came down here and just started being like, all right, I'm taking up as much foot space as possible.
It's not history.
Watch the watermelon.
Yeah, but Andrew Johnson. I didn't like Andrew Jackson.
I don't know enough about Andrew Jackson, but I know he
was
did
considered
Trail
a
of
tyrant.
Tears. Yeah,
he did Trail of Tears. He was part of the nullification crisis because he put tariffs.
Yeah. Did all the stuff with South Carolina.
Butterfly.
I think
Not a
he's
butterfly.
I think he's
Moth.
on par with Trump.
Who? Andrew Jackson? Well, Trump looks up to Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Jefferson was a good president.
Jefferson was chill, and Louisiana was good.
Louisiana Purchase?
Yeah.
1903?
Yeah, that was good.
For $60 million?
It was cheap. That was a steal.
Sold to by Napoleon.
Yeah, which is also crazy.
That is not puppy.
The reason why he did it, it was
That's
because
buggy.
he was losing
I mean,
and he
yeah.
needed to get rid of land so he could focus more on what was
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, so the friggin' British wouldn't steal
I think
it.
Napoleon was the best political leader we've ever seen.
He don't get you.
Napoleon Bonaparte
Yeah.
of France.
I disagree. I'm trying to think of the person who I think
He
was.
kicked Europe's ass 5 times over. Also, he got kicked out of his country, and he
And then
came
came
back,
back.
and all the people accepted him.
That's true. Who am I thinking of?
Also,
the
the
one
Napoleon-
German leader,
The
the
Napoleonic
Bismarck
Oath.
is who I'm thinking of.
It just didn't.
I
print
think
right.
Bismarck was
It
definitely
wasn't
up
on
there.
so I had to do
He dealt with a much.
layer shift.
I think he dealt with a much more difficult Europe, because Napoleon was kind of in a decent position, seeing as a lot of the surrounding powers were weaker.
Mhm.
Even Prussia, like Frederick the Great, had died,
Mm-hmm.
and his successor wasn't anything to really. He was fine, just
It's
no
weird that
Frederick.
they-
I think
they can't
I
really-
keep hearing that when Napoleon made
Yeah.
it to Berlin, he's like,
I
"Hey,
was
if
trying to
Frederick,
find
if that guy
myself
was
when you
here,
started recording,
we
I was
wouldn't
like,
be."
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm in
and
a
then, like,
massive
the
black
Russians
hoodie. Where
were-
am I?
When Navi
Starting to
walked
fall
past, Navi
behind.
walked
There
the
was a
other
whole
way.
bunch of things that I think
It's
Napoleon
strange, just 'cause
had
the screen
that
didn't
made it
flip. was
easier
like-
for him
Napoleon's
to do that.
military
behind.
strategies were good. Also,
That too.
he was in a time
I've
of
got,
a broken
Navi.
German empire.
I've got
Mhm.
Doey back
Prussia
there.
was very small then.
Still got support.
It was
sounding.
before
That's-
Germany
Can I
really
rip 'em off?
united.
Mhm.
You can try to.
He was around like right after the Holy Roman Empire broke, right?
He caused the Holy Roman Empire to break when he made the Confederation of the Rhine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know that much about
Oh,
Napoleon.
that's evil. Done.
I know enough to know like the main.
I have
Did you take
timeline.
AP Hero?
Dog days over there.
No, I just
And someone else.
really like watching YouTube videos about history.
Yeah, I know his laws were very good.
yeah,
Napoleonic
the
Code.
Napoleon.
The only
Code,
thing they were
yeah.
kind of sexist, but other than that, they were very good.
Yeah.
You should make Yarnaby.
What else?
Yeah. I'm coming up.
What about in the 21st century? I think Obama.
The best political leader.
I think Obama.
Got a big old mouth.
He got us out of
I-
the housing market crisis.
I don't disagree. I'm just
Obamacare.
trying to think.
Anyone
There
better?
is.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I think Al Gore would have done an incredible job.
Yeah, that election was.
I think if Al Gore won,
Screwed.
like the war on terror would have never happened.
Yeah.
Wait, was he 2004?
2000.
2000?
Yeah, that was the election that was
Ew, why
like
is he-
Make me a ball of nothing.
Pretty big.
pretty big
Is this the
and
good dino?
is still debated to this day.
What is this from?
Because I think it was
Oh, is this
Florida.
Good
pianos?
They didn't
Good
let the
dinosaur?
they didn't give them
They're
enough time to
They're
count or
broad.
recount the votes.
Yeah, and he won by
Playtime.
like 4 votes or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not 4.
It's one of the little.
I hope
guys.
not.
It was something like
It
that.
was close.
It was very small.
Because we don't know how to
Um,
talk with that.
And some people think if they had like allowed for time for the recount that maybe
Al Gore
Gore
would've
would have
won.
won.
Did
yeah.
he die very recently?
I don't know.
I believe
I think he did.
I believe Al Gore died very recently.
I love how last time we just spent forever talking about The Walking Dead, and now we're talking about
Like politics.
history and politics.
Yeah.
This is the conversation I want to have.
Though I think like John McCain, I think he would have done okay as a president. That was
I don't know enough
Obama.
about McCain. He was 2012, right?
I believe so.
I like the ball.
He was pretty good. That
I-
was
I
before
really-
Republican was like MAGA.
Yeah, here's really where my problem began. When social issues became the forefront,
Instead of actual like
instead of
economic.
and like, don't get me wrong, everyone should be equal. Like, they should have equal rights, right?
I think it's the
But-
court
Confusing
cases
when I
that kind of
tried to
ruined
do
it.
court.
Yeah,
Because like Roe v. Wade,
Mhm.
and obviously it just got overturned, but like that was so heavily debated for the past 60 years.
I want cube.
Yeah, there's just so many things that
I
cause social issues to be the forefront, and then a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but I know some people believe that them being at the forefront has created bigger issues regarding that.
I think Lyndon B. Johnson was the worst and best president
Oh, Dog Day has no eyes.
because he failed in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I accidentally.
But his
Everyone
economic-
failed in Vietnam.
But his economic plan was great. Well, I mean Nixon
Yeah.
Dang.
freaking bombed Cambodia, so
Perfect.
Yeah.
He's just looking through
Good
the
as
side.
new.
ew.
What is this?
Let's break
The
if I
supports
squeeze
for
it.
this.
Huh?
This is like a fidget toy.
Yeah.
What is this?
The supports for this.
Okay, what's that?
Half a ball.
Half of a ball.
Dude, it's like
Thanks, guys.
Wait, try mine.
I don't love that.
You don't?
That's weird.
I love
You're weird.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Punk.
Punk. You yee ass haircut.
I haven't gotten a haircut in forever. I need to get a haircut.
You need a trim.
Everyone tells me I do.
I also need one.
I should bug Enola and get Enola
It's
to
been an
cut my
hour
hair.
and 3 minutes.
Hour and 3?
Speaking of The Walking Dead, though, I recently watched a 8-hour summary of every episode in The Walking Dead because I wanted to rewatch it, but I didn't want to actually sit down and rewatch it.
I've
he
been
wants me to
watching
watch The
Resident
Walking Dead.
Evil.
I watched a little bit of Those Who Live. That's the Rick Grimes sequel.
Parts of it look good, but also I don't know if I can dedicate more time to like actually
I've
watching
been
new
watching
Walking
off
Dead
record
stuff.
tension.
Like it all looks
Markiplier,
good, but
I
also
watched
I
IGP,
hated
IGP.
season 11 so
I never
much.
watched
I watched
Yeah,
I've been
especially part
watching
1.
3FS.
It feels like you're just beating a dead horse.
He plays
Oh,
FNAF
yeah.
fan games, and I think they're
It's just all.
my God.
It's.
I've been watching nothing but.
It
I
felt
feel
like
like they've been
recently.
beating
You
a dead
guys-
horse.
you guys
need to
friggin'
watch. You guys need
Season
to watch
8.
IGP.
I
After
watched so
Negan.
much
It's
Queso.
so
The Whispers were beating a dead horse.
Even
I watch
during
a lot of
Negan, they
these.
started beating.
It's just
Like they
funny.
were just.
There's
It
one
was
guy
so
who
much
plays
filler.
Skilly
Mhm.
McPhilly.
There wasn't enough. Like there wasn't enough plot movement. It was just a lot of. Nonsense.
And the comics aren't even like.
I would bet like my entire life savings, my whole $20, that's my savings. That Queso's on my TV right now.
I wouldn't
I
mind
got
reading the
180 in my
comics though.
savings. You know how much I got?
The
in
comics,
tax return?
Michonne and Tyrone get like
Yes.
freaky in them.
$20.
Less.
Oh,
$3.
Dude, I just want to
Higher.
see a spin-off of just like
$5.
Alexandria
$6.
chilling.
Higher.
$12.
$18.
Like maybe
Guess how
maybe I
much
just want to
Sam
see.
got from
Tolly,
PayPal?
how
Yeah.
much money did
Oh,
you
a
get
lot.
from your tax return?
1,000.
I owed $600.
Owed 600?
How is
I
that
got
possible?
$300 back in state return, and then federally I owed $600 because they never had me do my W-2 at Best Buy.
I'm just gonna make Zane do my
So
taxes.
they weren't taxing me.
You're gonna make Zane.
He's going into accounting.
Oh, I got $1,200 back.
Nice.
1,258.
Zane's the
Stan
type of
got
autism where he's good at math, so
950
I'll let him do his
bucks.
thing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
He's got that good side of autism.
Who?
What?
Zane.
Ooh.
Zane.
Bro does not have a good.
This is weird.
He took me home today. His car was like a mess.
Yeah, I would believe
My car
that.
is a mess, but
I
it's
don't know
because
why,
I'm a mess.
but I really
My car's
actually
also-
no. I know
No,
exactly
his is
why.
like 10 times
I
worse
for
than
My
some
car's a
reason
little-
My
really
car's bad
badly
right now.
Don't know
Right now,
why.
my car's really
want to
bad.
tear this entire side of this off just because this one cell's gone.
So,
I want to pull all of this
Tolly.
out.
It's a very strong foundation.
It looks like
It is. That's why it's a
I-
support.
I opened a high yield savings account a bit ago.
Oh, really?
Just
Did
since
you?
we're talking about
What's the interest rate?
I think it's like 3.5.
That's really
Okay,
good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's with my main bank. It's with Huntington, so I was like, yeah, sure, why
You're
not?
19, right?
Mhm.
That's pretty good for a 19-year-old.
I
Bro,
think so.
his savings for a 19-year-old is crazy.
See, I could do an IRA, but or I do have an IRA. I could do a high yield savings, but the IRA is going to have a bigger return. Should have a bigger return.
Yeah,
So,
I see it as like
That's why I went for the IRA instead.
I have both.
One's just like safe savings.
Yeah, one is like super long term, but my high yield savings, that's for like after college when I want
That's
to
fair.
like get a house or maybe a car.
I'm
like,
probably going to reside
it's-
with like a credit union.
I have a credit union.
I have a credit union.
I don't use
think.
Huntington. I don't use any big
I
banks.
see.
I love
Yeah.
Huntington. Huntington's
It's
not
like-
actually
I
that.
Golden Circle.
I think so. I use First Ohio.
Huntington's not actually that big. It's big, but it's like mainly an Ohio Midwestern thing, I think.
I think so.
Compared to like Chase, which is just freaking everywhere.
Yeah, Chase is everywhere.
But yeah, so like freaking. I'm blanking. My IRA is like long term. My
Mhm.
savings account is like short long term.
Yeah, I should do a high yield savings or something, or a
Oh, looks
CD.
nice on you.
There's a few. I think Robinhood has a really good one. I think theirs is
I don't
like
trust
4.
Robinhood
You don't trust Okay, fair enough.
because you know what happened with the GameStop stocks.
Yeah, they.
That
did
was
some
Robinhood,
GameStop.
and then
scummy stuff a few
yeah,
years
and then
ago.
they tried not to give people their money
Stock
back.
game stock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the government.
Netflix made a documentary
I
on
want to
that.
like bite this.
Oh, did you watch it?
I did.
Oh, so you can watch that, but not Invincible.
Yeah,
Invincible's really good.
I just don't want to watch
Wait,
it.
is he truly? Dude, I love Invincible.
We should get Justin to watch an episode tonight.
Anthony wants me to watch it too.
It's really
It's
good.
so good.
Why do they want us to watch the same shows?
Because
I don't
it's
know.
so good.
Because you guys want us to watch Invincible, you guys want us to watch The Walking Dead.
No.
Is there any others?
Have you ever thought that maybe
Screw
they
The
just
Walking
have
Dead.
really
You seen
good
Shameless?
taste?
No.
I haven't seen Shameless.
You need to watch Shameless.
I really want to
Just
watch
a lot of
Breaking
sex
Bad. I
in it.
just haven't yet.
I also want to watch Breaking Bad.
That feels like
Except
a
I don't
dedication
watch
like
shows.
The
I also
Walking
want to
Dead.
watch Dexter.
Dexter's the
I've
way
made it a
large.
season. I've made it a season through Dexter.
Dexter's like the same thing over and over again, though.
It is.
No,
That's true. From what
But
I've noticed.
Dexter is different.
But it's pretty good.
Were you guys kissing over there?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I was just about to ask too.
You guys, I think this
I-
podcast has been going on for way longer than it should.
You is really good
Well,
too.
now we're just talking.
Yeah, I know.
I've been told to watch you as well.
You is good.
We should probably
It
end
just
it
came
soon,
out with
Dresden.
its-
Who are you?
Oh.
Jacob.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, do the outro.
James, Jacob,
We've
stay on
we've
stand.
talked a lot.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. Good night. Thanks for watching.